The Channel Mom Show, celebrating you with Jenny Dean Schmidt.
Brought to you by Earth Balance, a natural food brand that makes a mom's life more delicious. Earth Balance produces a tasty line of buttery spreads, nut butters, soy milk, mayo, and more, allowing you and your family to enjoy your favorite foods healthfully and allergy-free. It's all at earthbalancernatural.com.
Every good mom wants her children to be healthy, but mom needs to be healthy too. That's why Channel Mom is here to help with Healthy Mom, Happy Family, featuring health-boosting advice from certified nutritionist Julie Hammerstein. Brought to you by delicious and mom-friendly Earth Balance.
Welcome, Julie. Healthy Mom, Happy Family with a certified nutritionist Julie Hammerstein. Happy to have you here today.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about fat.
Yeah.
Here's one thing I want to say. I brought butter because I want to tell you that I have a semi-rebellion against the anti-fat thing.
Yeah.
And I've been eating butter for years because I have personally believed that you need some fat, and I think you're going to tell us that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about butter?
Butter's better. No, I actually like butter. We got into such this just leads into this whole misconception, but we got into that craze of no fat. And so then along came margarine, and that was kind of the better option. But as you know, I just believe in real food. And butter comes from a cow. It comes from milk. I mean, we know that's real. But because we got the scare around saturated fats, that's when butter and eggs and cheese that have a higher content of saturated fat became no-nos.
Yeah, and so can we just say right now to everybody listening, fat is not necessarily a bad thing in your diet.
It's actually a necessity in your diet.
Even if you're trying to lose weight.
Especially if you're trying to lose weight.
Oh, amen, girl, because I love my butter.
So here are the things and so we'll talk about some different types of fat because it's still all in moderation. And there are, I like to rotate the fat. So have some butter, use it in small quantities, use it for certain flavorings. But if for cooking and things like that, there's some other options we're going to talk about. But I want to talk about why it's so important first.
Okay, so let's do that. Why is fat important for us to consume?
So fat, and especially when you look at the good fats that come from plant foods and oils and things like that, actually help to regulate metabolism and hormones essential for brain health. I mean, really, those foods aren't around by mistake. They really are designed to support human health in a really profound way. When you look at some disease states where fat has not been in the diet, you can even see a lot of the neurological diseases, things like Alzheimer's. If good, healthy fats are in the diet, especially your omega-3s, which would be from your fish and your walnuts and flax and healthy oils, that actually helps to keep brain cells healthier.
Okay.
And again, regulate things like your mood. When you hear of pregnant women who, after birth, are experiencing postpartum depression, one of the top nutritional remedies is to eat more healthy omega-3 fats.
Okay, so but people on diets, I think, go to the store and they buy the no-fat cheese and they buy the no-fat margarine and the no-fat whatever.
Right.
And what are they doing to their body when they eliminate all those fats?
So they're doing two things. First of all, because it's true, fat has a higher calorie content than your carbohydrates and your protein. So if you're thinking, well, I'm going to cut calories, why not cut the things that are higher in calories? So that's why they cut fat out. But what happens then is you're eating foods that don't have the fat that help you feel satiated. Oh, so you're constantly
You're hungry.
And fat offers flavor. I mean, anyone who's a cheese lover knows the difference between a full fat cheese and a zero fat cheese. I mean, what's the point if you're not enjoying it and feeling full and feeling satiated?
Because then it's hard to continue on the diet.
Right, because you're feeling deprived and your body's not really getting what it needs. And so, yes, you need to watch calories. You need to pay attention to that. But if you're using little bits of fat for your cooking or to season or doing something like that, you can watch those calories. And in fact, about 30% of our diet should be made up of fat.
Okay,
right?
About 30%.
Yeah, so and most
Even
women,
when you're trying to lose weight.
Absolutely.
Just balance it and be healthy about it. Okay.
Yes, and so 30% you have to watch because let's say we're looking at a 1,500 calorie diet. And by the way, most women should not be eating under 1,400 calories. And we're probably in a range of about 1,400 to 1,600 calories for women, depending on your activity level and what your weight loss goals are.
Women who are dieting or women just to maintain are between 1,400 and 1,600?
Both, because really, if you're,
I feel like I eat more than that because I exercise
you're
regularly.
You're active. And I'm just talking kind of generally speaking. And so, women who want to maintain, and if they're super, super active though, I mean, it could go up to 2,000, 2,200. It really, but for most women, if you're looking to kind of manage your weight, lose weight, or you just might find that you have a good set point at about 1,600 calories. If you have a high metabolism, if you're super active, it can go higher than that. But let's just take a 1,500 calorie diet. If you're eating 30% of your calories as fat, that's about 400, 420. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is 200 calories.
Oh.
So you just have to pay attention. Just pay attention. And so if you're going to be cooking with oils, totally fine. If you're going to be using it on a salad dressing, totally fine. If you're going to be eating it in your yogurt and your cheese, just pay attention.
Okay. So tell me the no goods and tell me the goods, fat. And I just went through my pantry this morning and I looked at some things, like I have a box of Cheerios here that said lower cholesterol. I have a box of tortillas, or not a box of tortillas, but a bag of tortillas that say 0 grams of trans fat.
Right.
I brought my butter that I love so much, and I also brought my favorite spread, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But when something says no trans fats or no cholesterol, does that automatically make it good?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It makes it a healthy option if you're only looking at fat. But, that is sometimes the marketing trick, is that it could be no trans fats, which I'll explain what those are in a minute, but loaded with sugar. Yeah. And it could be a no trans fat bread that has 0 grams of fiber. Yeah. So you still have to bring it into the full picture.
And is trans fat the only bad fat?
Well, so you've got your saturated fats, your polyunsaturated fats, your monounsaturated fats. Don't worry too much about the definitions of those, but just know that your fats that are more solid are going to be more saturated, and those are going to be less healthy on the whole spectrum.
So explain solid.
Like a butter or like a margarine or like a Crisco, right? So those are going to be more saturated, meaning that they're probably that they are solid at room temperature.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Your oils.
I want you to know that my grandpa lived to age 98, and he used to eat Crisco like every day.
Yeah. So, right. But, and that is interesting, isn't it? He probably also wasn't eating a ton of preservatives and a ton of fake sugar.
No, he was not.
So it's interesting to see how that changed. But so if you look at like your olive oils, your grapeseed oil, some of those healthier plant-based oils, those are the ones, your flaxseed oil, those are the ones that you're going to want in your diet.
Olive oil, grapeseed oil, flax oil.
Right.
You said okay to butter in certain quantities.
Right. Again, because that's real food. It adds flavor, but you just don't want to be using it a lot.
Okay. And what about my favorite? This is my super, super favorite. It's like a treat for me.
Yeah.
I think for a while, the coconut oils went through a bad reputation.
Right.
But they're back.
Right.
Especially the extra virgin coconut oils.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the Earth Balance coconut spread. Love it.
Yeah.
Love to put it on a bagel. How do you feel about it?
I love it. I mean, I love coconut oil, and the reason it got such a bad rap is because, along with palm oils and things like that, is because it is more saturated.
Uh-huh.
The great thing about coconut oil, though, is that it has what are called medium-chain triglycerides. It's a great source of energy. Your body knows what to do with it. So it has really wonderful healing properties. If you were to take another, like a Crisco, if you were to put them side by side, they almost look alike.
They do.
But they're coming from completely different plant sources. And when you take a certain oil and you bring it through a chemical process in a lab to make it go from liquid to solid, that is what makes a hydrogenated oil
a trans fat.
And that is, and then those are going to fall into the category.
And what's bad about, just in 30 seconds or less, what's bad about a trans fat?
Again, they're usually made from a less desirable oil, like a corn oil or vegetable oil that doesn't have a lot of nutritional value. And just that processing denatures that oil. And because of the properties of that oil, it will clog your arteries. I mean, that's really what creates the inflammation and clogs your arteries more than your saturated fats.
Okay, because your body doesn't know what to do with it.
Right.
And so that literally causes clogging, literally.
Yeah, I mean, it creates an inflammatory process. Your body, it's not a source of energy that your body really can use versus with coconut oil or butter.
This can be processed, and a trans fat cannot. And am I right? Am I following that? And that's why it causes clogging and
Yeah, so it's again, it looks at the type of oil and the process it goes through to make it from liquid to solid. When you do that with a healthier oil and you don't go through a hydrogenation process, then you're okay.
Okay, you have a little over 4 minutes. I know you want to tell everybody and educate them on some good fats that'll keep them healthy, that they can have in a diet when they're dieting, and then also for weight maintenance.
Right. So some of the ones that I mentioned, right? So your olive oils, really you want to use your olive oil more for a salad dressing, more for marinades. You don't really want to cook at high temperatures with it because that will denature it. It's not designed to be at what's called a high flash point, which be more like your grapeseed oil. It's a really, really stable oil and a ton of health properties. So use your grapeseed oils more for your stir fries, things like that. I love the Earth Balance products because they have come up with a way to get good, healthy fats that are vegan, meaning they're dairy free. And so those are really good oils. Those are good fats to be having because they're less saturated. So
good fats. And then for all the people that have dairy problems, fabulous for them.
Yeah.
So you have Earth Balance coconut and peanut spread, which is like a dessert.
It's like heaven.
I love that stuff. And then natural almond butter.
Right.
You would recommend both of these in small quantities.
In small
good
quantities.
fats.
Yeah. And I really like if you can get your dietary fats from plants, from things like nuts and seeds and avocado and things like that, because that they also
as opposed to what?
As opposed to your fats that come from animal products like cheese and dairy and eggs and things like that. And again, all of those, in my opinion, are good foods. They're real foods. They have good sources of protein, but they're going to be more kind of your macronutrients, meaning they're going to give you energy and fuel. The great thing about some of your plant-based fats is that they also have other phytonutrients, other plant chemicals. Like if you look at a nut or something like that, it's going to have more nutrients in it.
And you're really into fueling the body. That's the thing about you, is that people need to understand, if you're just on a diet and you have no fuel, then you're not going to be able to be active to help you lose weight. You're not going to have any energy, so you're not going to be able to stay on the diet, et cetera, right? I mean, you're really into fuel that makes your body function in all areas, your brain, your heart, right?
Right. And the right fuel. Like use your, look at your body knows what to do. It knows how to fuel on real food.
Yeah.
And so, I'm all about fuel. I'm also about programming, like programming your body. Your body knows the programming from fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. Like it knows, I know that information, and here's what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to make healthier cells.
At the cellular, cellular level. It recognizes it.
Right. And so, but I mean, I think with the whole feeling satisfied, we want food to be an experience that we enjoy and that is all about pleasure and in moderation. And so when you are cutting out fat calories, you're depriving yourself of that. And it's just the same thing goes with diet sodas. I mean, all those fat-free, sugar-free, all of that is depriving you of an experience out of flavor, out of feeling full, out of giving your body what it needs. And so no wonder you're on that vicious cycle.
Yeah, and that's one reason that we like pop chips. I don't have a bag here today, but we like pop chips because that does feel like a fun food. It does help you to be satiated. It's like having a potato chip, but again, no trans fats, not a lot of calories, not a lot of sugar.
And only 3 grams of fat per serving. So here's what you want to look for. You want to look at about 7 to 10 grams of fat per serving.
Okay, I gotta go.
Okay.
But you're fabulous, Julie. You make me feel okay about eating, and it's fun again, and yet you keep me healthy, which is important in my